Hey everyone, Richard Metalfan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2017 album review. And today we're going to be looking into the new album from the band Obliviscaris entitled Earn, which came out today through Season of Mist Records. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Obliviscaris, they're a progressive metal or melodic death metal, whatever genre is classified as, hailing all the way from Melbourne, Australia. These guys have formed in 2003. Now, I discovered Obliviscaris about probably near the end of 2015, early 2016, through a friend of mine. I think it was around the time after their second album Citadel came out. I decided to check that out. And I was kind of impressed. I was blown away. And I also heard their debut album Portal Vi, and I really dug that a lot too. Thought they were both really good albums. And of course, I seen Obliviscaris twice. I saw them for the first time back in February of last year, where they were opening up for Cradle of Filth, and I was really impressed. Like, they're just so god tier live. And of course, I saw them, of course, in August last year on their first ever headlining tour in America, and they're just, my god, these guys are just really great. Of course, this new album is the follow-up to 2014 Citadel, which is pretty much the album that got me into Obliviscaris, and I was really, really impressed. I actually loved this. And does this album actually live up to Citadel? In my honest opinion, I think it definitely has. Like, everything is pretty much stepped up from Citadel to the new album Earn. The production on this album is superb and fantastic. Like, everything is where it needs to be. The vocal work in general on this album is really great from Tim Charles and Zaynor. Like Tim's clean vocals really just shine on this album, and he puts so much emotion into his singing. You could definitely feel how the way he's singing and how he conveys it on this album. It's just really great, and his violin playing is just so soothing and just so peaceful and calming. And Zaynor's harsh vocals, it's just his growls and stuff is just so freaking brutal and sort of punches you in the face. And guitar-wise, I mean, Benjamin Beret and Matt Clavins's guitar work is just spot on. Just like the riffs and just the soloing that they come up with. Well, Ben's solos and Matt's riffs are just really great. The bass-wise, I forget who's played bass on this album, since, of course, Brendan Brown got kicked out of Neo near the end of last year, early this year. If anybody knows, just comment below. And drumming-wise, what can I say about Daniel Pressland? His drumming is just superb. He just does a great job on this album, drumming-wise, the blast beats and all this shit. Without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, this album clocks in at 45 minutes, and there's 6 tracks on here. But let's dive into this track by track. Now, Earn begins with Liberia, and which is split into 2 parts. Part 1 being Saturnine Spheres, and the second part being Ascent of Burning Moths. Now, part 1 begins quietly and gently before it just explodes with blast beats and just some fast-picking staccato riffs, and just the clean vocals from Charles that are the first to be heard. And he feels like he is much more prominent than on the previous couple albums based on his performance here. That's a good thing. And then Zaynor kind of enters the fray with his savage and delivery. I just can't help but just deliver a sinister smile when Zaynor kind of enters his evilness, and sort of Tim brings sort of the peacefulness. A good mesh between the two. And the song is indeed as a whole is extreme production, and the folk tinge midsection is dominated by violin and the bass, but is supported by some acoustic guitars and relaxed restraining drumming. Despite the more chill vibe at this point of the song you can feel the song is building, and this might be the calm before the storm, and so it comes to pass in the dramatic style as the metaphorical roof is sort of blown off. And then it sort of returns with some insane blast beats and burns from earlier to the piece, but they are just joined by some oozing choral vocals that make one hell of an impact. Alright, then we go into part 2 of Liberia, Ascent of Burning Moths. which is contrast of a calm like outro piece, purely acoustic guitar and violin and construction. After sort of like the intensity that is of part one, this is a perfect counterpoint and is all the more impactful and enjoyment as the result. Next on the album is called Intravenous, and is the shortest single on the album, but this song just packs a huge punch, containing some of the more memorable melodies on the album, thanks to like Tim's like clean vocal delivery that soars between the brutal tumult with elegant ease, like the dueling solos between the violin and Ben's like lead guitar, brilliant, as is apparently like effortless variation of light and shade, and like the 7 minute develops. And then we go into I think that's how you say it, forgive me if I butchered it, which in my opinion is the most standout track on here. And this song is almost 12 minutes long. I mean, this masterpiece doesn't let up for a second. Like, atmospheric and climactic all at the same time. It's just really just punches you right in the face, especially like around the 4.5 minute mark that the song finally erupts. And then even then, despite some technicality from all the corners, the melodic sensibilities of the introduction remain. Man, like, my god, this song is just mind-blowing. I really love this song. Great song that just combines like all the great elements of like the heavy, soft, like brutal, technical, everything. And just, my god, it's just insane how this song is just so fucking good. And then the album closes with Earn, the title track. And similar to Libera, this song is split up into two parts, being the first part is And Within the Void We Are Breathless, and As Ember Dance in Our Eyes. Now, part one descends into near chaos at times, but is kept in check by the immense skill of each of the musicians, pulling the track back from the brink of anarchy frequently, while part two continues to deliver a certain amount of the contained discord, primarily on the part of the shrieking violin, before bearing into a fair amount of heavy groove. The lead work from Matt is superb, but is like once again Tim's clean vocals that make the bigger impact, profiting from more gorgeous and passionate melodies. Now, overall, like, Earn is just, I think, is a great song, great album. Like, everything is perfect. Like, only 45 minutes and like 6 tracks is just pretty insane and just amazing. Now, if I were to give Earn a score, I'd probably give this a solid 9 to a 9.5 out of 10. It's that good. It's a good follow-up to Citadel. Oh, so that's my review of Earn by Obliviscaris, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, and I'll see you all in the next video, and keep it metal.